Welcome back to the series, everyone. In this entire series, I'm just going to be really vulnerable with you and show you my songwriting process so you can take away how to actually write tracks and record them using Logic Pro and the Fender Tone Master Pro. I just want to say thank you so much for all the support on episode 1. If you haven't watched episode 1, I encourage you to start with that so you can see the templating that we did and the routing. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to actually track guitar ideas and the power of going fast. So we're not going to get lost in perfection. We are just going to focus on writing some parts today and tracking them. This series is sponsored by Guitar Center. So if there is anything you need for your home studio, I would just really appreciate it if you would consider using the affiliate link below. It costs you nothing and it gives me a little kickback to support what I'm doing here on this channel. Also, if you're interested in diving deeper in guitar tone, I do have a Tone Master Pro course where I basically teach you sound design from a studio engineer's mindset and guitar player. So if you want to know how you dial in tones really quick without guessing, check out the link below. Lastly, if you enjoy this type of content, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. A subscribe would be great. And let me know, I don't know, your favorite flavor of ice cream in the description below. And let's get into today's content. Before we jump in, one thing that's important is that whenever we are tracking guitars into our DAW, make sure you're not using any type of reverb. And honestly, I don't like to use delay either, so I can, really dial it in. In this case, I do have a space delay, but it's mainly just acting as a little bit of slapback. And this is just a chicken picking preset that I've dialed in for this guitar. But the reason why we don't want to have any reverb on there is because we're going to do all that inside of our DAW. And if you have two different reverbs going, you can have some interesting artifacts. Alright, so the riff idea is going to be... So the first thing we need to do is we need to arm our tracks. So to arm, that's going to be this R button, and I'm going to do it for both the DI and my thing. Now here's the thing, I know what preset this is, so I'm going to remove this, and on my Tone Master Pro, this is 03. Making sure we have line levels, making sure we're not too hot, so all I'm doing is I'm seeing where I'm recording. Alright, now here's the thing. We're going to do this in 2 takes. The first take is going to be neck pickup, and then we're going to switch and we're going to do it on the bridge pickup. And I like to get both flavors of that so I can blend them together to get a really good guitar tone for my lead to sit on top of. For this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record it in basically 2 different steps. I like to do this because it makes arrangement really well. So my workflow is I compose first. So once I get all my parts, then I'll do arrangement, and then once I have the song done and I've played it enough times where I enjoy it, then I'll do a final playthrough. So that's my process, that's what I'm going to showcase in this. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that first idea recorded. Cool. Let's hear it back. Cool. Pretty good loop. If you're having issues playing with a metronome, if you're not really used to it, and honestly, I'll do this even on my track just to tighten things up. If you hit the shortcut Q, it's going to quantize. And for this track, I'm not playing 16th notes, I'm only playing 8th notes. So let's hear it back. You can hear it kind of did something weird around the ba-da-da-da-dum, put some weird swing to it. Yeah, it's adding weird artifacts. So I'm actually going to turn it off on mine, but just know that that option is there for you. Alright, so boom, that's the neck pickup. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drop down this, this icon just so I don't have to see all those tracks. And now we are going to change this to track on the bridge pickup. And all I'm doing right now is I'm making sure that all of my inputs are correct. Cool, cool, cool. So let's do the same thing here. Now the shortcut I'm hitting on my keyboard to be able to record is just R, Romeo. Okay, so you might be asking, why are you double taking guitars like that? Well, I want to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a blind A/B test. So listen to this. This is just one guitar. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pan just a little bit. So let's do like 18 to 25. So is that 21? Now listen, this is the same thing but with two guitars and they're panned. So it just adds a lot of width to your recording. And that's going to allow for like a lead line to really sit nicely. Alright, so for the chord progression, I need this to be, we'll probably just do 8 bars. 8 bars, 4 to 8 bar loops is pretty standard in my songwriting, and you're going to hear that all over the place in most songwriting. So, and then you can just loop, you can take an 8 bar loop and turn it into 16 bars, 32 bars, whatever your song form is that you're following. So the chord progression that I've outlined for this riff, I'm thinking this one is in A minor at the beginning. For the actual chord melody, we're going to just switch into the key of F. So I'm going to play an F major 7 to a C major 7 to a D minor 7. So it'll be something like... something like that. We'll see what happens when I'm tracking. Alright, what we're going to do is go back up to this guitar part, and we're going to record again, switch back to your neck pickup. Oh, and the other reason why I enjoy switching pickups is because it's just going to give you a wider palette to use in your, for your lead lines or synth or whatever. You could be lazy and copy and paste what you've already recorded, but I just find you get way better results. It sounds more lively if you do it the way that I'm showing you right now. Alright, so let's go ahead and track that chord idea. Cool. And the reason why I always play through the loop is because you need it to be where you can actually, especially when you're composing and I want to hear what this is sounding like, you want it to be a clean loop. And maybe this is my NPC coming out, but I always just encourage you to get into the habit of doing that. Play through the progression as if we're recording the whole song in real time. All right, so now what we're going to do is unarm these tracks, and we're going to arm these tracks and repeat. And we're also going to change pickups to our bridge. Alright, and my idea there was I didn't want both guitars going, because I'm not, if I play this song live, I'm not going to play it like that every time, so I'm only going to let one guitar do that. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get this set up to do some lead work. So what I'm going to do is just copy and paste this. If you hold Shift and click, you can do both. Now I'm going to hold Option, and I'm going to extend this out because I want to keep one 8-bar loop as kind of the intro to the song where we start building up instrumentation. And then I'm going to do like a 16-bar melodic idea. Now on this track, what I'm going to do is hit Command D, and that's going to duplicate everything. Now again, remember, Shift Enter, we can rename. And I'm going to do this guitar lead. Same thing here. Same thing here. And it's really just to keep my tracks organized as I continue to build this out. But today we're only tracking guitar, so nothing too crazy. Alright, so one of my favorite things to do when I'm tracking a lead is I'll tend to use the same preset. We could change it up, but here's the thing. If you turn on that overdrive, now we've got something where I'm poking out a little bit more and it works. We could use the middle pickup here. Cool. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop this a couple of times. This is typically how I write, so I can play around with different ideas and see where I want to lead. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to stay pentatonic, both here and slide into the D position. So I'm thinking A minor. Yeah, let's just mess around with that. Let's see what happens. Oh, I made a mistake, and I'm so glad you saw that on camera. I just recorded over all of my rhythm guitars. So what we're going to do, don't panic. Hit Command Z. Command Z again. Cool. Now, learn from my mistake. We're going to come here and we're going to hit ARM. So no big deal, right? That's super easy to fix, but we just learned a very valuable lesson. So I like that idea though. So just keep it simple, man. Keep it simple and build complexity in layers. And then as we progress and we get to know the song a little bit more, things may change, but I'm super melodic. Most of the time, people are going to remember melodies and hooks more so than they will how many notes you play. So keep it simple, keep it, especially if you're new to all this stuff, don't try to become, polyphia overnight. So here we go. We're going to track this idea, and I'm just going to commit to that. Oh, okay. No, you're seeing mistakes live. I think what I'm actually going to do is, yeah. So I'm going to position 2 so I can get more quack. And the biggest reason is I feel like I'm not sticking out in the mix as much as I would like. So we're just going to fix that. All right, so a couple of things. One, I noticed that my loop isn't clean. And you can hear that now that we're actually looping it through. So I'm gonna do one more take now that I know what I'm looking for. And what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna record a longer loop here because it's kind of like whenever I'm live looping, if I can do at least 2 passes, it feels more natural to actually loop it out. So we'll do that and then we'll end the video here. We're gonna retake both. Again, this bottom, and I should probably label this, but I just know myself. This bottom one is the bridge pickup, and the top one is the neck pickup. And I did a C minor there. I forgot to turn off my overdrive. Alright, so another thing happened to me while I was also playing through that, and that is, like, the song's presenting itself to me, right? As I'm working through this, I'm hearing what I hear in a finished track. So what I think I'm going to do is the first couple of times that this track is being played, that's when I'm going to do all the noodle fills, But otherwise, when I'm in this part, I'm going to let the lead guitar take over this. And as you can see, the best way that I can describe this whole entire process is we're just trying to chisel out the song and find where it is and constantly refine. No one in there, unless if they're just like been doing this forever, can do all this in one take. So don't stress yourself out if you have to do this a million times. I mean, that's learning. This is the fun of recording and writing music because this is all exploration. All right, let's do it again. For now, I rearmed the right track and we have done the neck pickup. One last thing, now that I have those two things down, I'm going to redo the lead part because again, we're slowly chiseling out and I've got a better idea of how everything fits. So I'm going to turn back on my overdrive and I'm in position 2. Cool. And we're going to keep all of this as is right now. We're not going to worry about any sound design or anything. All we did in today's session was we recorded a couple of guitar ideas. So here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to end the video here. In the next video, what we're going to do is we are going to write in drums and then we're going to write in bass. So that way this becomes more of a coherent track. So just to recap today, the biggest thing we did is we basically took a bunch of different takes of guitar and started capturing the essence of a song. Now, mind you, this is still choppy and very raw. However, what I want you to see is I'm being very transparent in this entire process so you can hear how I compose my music and at least learn from one person's songwriting process so you can further develop your own. But if you enjoy content like this, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you wouldn't mind liking this and even consider sharing it out with your community, I would just greatly appreciate being able to grow here on YouTube.